Your ultimate car care store.
You're watching Long Island's All News Network, News 12 Long Island.
From Montauk in the east to Great Neck in the west, news about Long Island for the people of Long Island. 24 hours every day. This is News 12 Long Island. And now, the night edition.
Hello, I'm Melba Tolliver.
And I'm Bill Zimmerman. Republicans celebrate a big win in Suffolk.
And appear to suffer a stunning loss in Nassau. Patrick Halpin is out, Robert Gaffney is in as Suffolk County executive. But tonight's big story is in Nassau County, where the GOP's iron grip on county politics has been broken.
Democrat Ben Zwern was reelected as North Hempstead Town Supervisor. That's not such a surprise. But in Oyster Bay, a major upset. Democratic challenger Louis Yavoli has beaten incumbent Republican Angelo Delegati. Republicans on the Board of Supervisors will no longer be able to muster enough votes to pass a law in Nassau without the support of at least one Democratic supervisor. Scott Feldman is standing by now and has more from Nassau Republican headquarters in Westbury. Scott?
Scott! Okay, he's in the crowd looking for to grab Mondello.
Scott lost in the crowd there at Nassau Republican headquarters. We'll be checking in with him as soon as we can get our hands on him. In the meantime, we'll take a look at what happened in Suffolk County, particularly with, first of all, with respect to the Suffolk County legislature, where it has been all incumbents tonight. Caracciolo in the first. In the second, Davis, the incumbent. In the third, the incumbent Foley. In the fourth, Caracappa, the incumbent. In the fifth, Engelbright, the incumbent. In the sixth, Blydenberg, the incumbent. The incumbent again in the seventh, DeAndre. In the eighth, Levy. In the ninth, Rizzo. All of these incumbents winning tonight. Finley in the 10th. In the 11th, Lazio. In the 12th, Backety in a close race. In the 13th, Schaefer. In the 14th, Maxine Postal. In the 15th, Binder. Now here there was no incumbent, and the Republican appears to have won. In the 17th, the incumbent Gorin. And in the 18th, O'Donoghue, and once again, the Suffolk legislature lining up as it was before tonight with 11 Republicans and Conservatives and 7 Democrats.
All right, now we are going to go back to Scott Feldman, who is covering Nassau Republicans. Scott?
All right, thank you very much, Melvin, Bill. Well, this is Joe Mondello, Republican Party Chairman. Joe, let me ask you, Republicans aren't used to losing, but you lost big tonight. This is history in the making.
We lost. Well, you know, history was made to change, and we can change it back again. It's certainly not a great night for incumbents.
What do you think the message of the voters was?
I think the message of the voters was, when you tax us and you're an incumbent, watch out.
The Republicans said they had held the line on taxes, yet you've got a $200 million deficit, and there's talk about when the budget comes out after this election of taxes going up. Is that what was in the voters' minds?
No, I think what was in the voters' minds is what they've seen in the past in terms of the increase in taxes. And I think that if this had been a completely Democratic county, you would have seen the same turnover. I think that this is a message of the public that if you're an incumbent and you hit them in the pocketbook, they're going to react.
Nassau Board of Supervisors no longer have a working majority. The Republicans no longer a working majority. You're going to have to share power with the Democrats.
Yes, well, looks like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting situation on the Board of Supervisors. I believe that we are, I think we'll be 1 or 2 votes shy of a majority. So we'll be working with the Democrats, and there's nothing wrong with that.
This is called compromise, and you've never had to do Do that before.
I've lived my whole life compromising, Scott, and this will be no change. I've never been a dictatorial type person.
Joe, are you concerned about your own position as Republican Party chair in light of what's happened tonight?
Not at all. I'm really not concerned. I will, I will do what my party wishes me to do and what the executive committee wishes me to do. With the showing of support I've seen tonight, I don't think I'll have much to worry about. And even if I did, I wouldn't worry about it anyway.
All right, Joe Mondello, thanks very much. Let's go now to Angelo Delegati, the defeated Oyster Bay supervisor, his concession speech here just a few moments ago.
It was a tough campaign and a hard campaign, but I really want to thank all of the Oyster Bay leaders, my campaign chairman, Peter Schmidt, my town chairman, Jim Pickett, all the volunteers, the people who work so hard. And I congratulate Lou Uvoli, he ran a great race.
Mike, can you see this?
All right, well, Delegati losing in Oyster Bay means Lou Uvoli won in Oyster Bay, a Democratic win, which, as we heard from Mr. Mondello, puts him in a position of continuing his lifetime of compromise.
Compromising, that's right. He says it's going to be interesting. When we come back, maybe we can find out from our analysts just how interesting it might be. And also, check out something Mr. Mondello said about all the incumbents losing. It seems to me that only one incumbent in that group lost, and that was Angelo Delegati. We'll continue with election 91 right after this.
The big winter wear and ski gear warehouse event is on. Ski Stop's 30,000 square foot warehouse takes on the season with our biggest sale ever. Up to 80% off list. The guaranteed lowest prices plus extra technicians and Ski Stop staff. One big warehouse. The world's most wanted brands.
Nobody beats Ski Stop's price. Nobody beats Ski Stop's service. Nobody beats Ski Stop's quality.
It's happening now. Guaranteed.
Marty, I thought you tuned this bike. I tune them and you break them. You don't know how to ride. I've been riding this bike since it was brand new.
Hey, guys. Having some trouble?
He broke it.
I know you guys. You gave me a great deal on my Harley.
See that, Marty? It's the deals. I remember the deals.
And you made my Harley sound and look just right.
It's the service, Richie. The service.
Hempstead Harley-Davidson. We're hotter than ever.
Ethan Allen introduces the American Impressions Collection. Just because you don't have a lot of money to throw around doesn't mean you have to live with disposable furniture. Right now, there's a sale at your Ethan Allen Gallery.
Binder & Binder helped me get the disability benefits I was due.
Right during the free consultation, they told me they could help, and they did.
For over 10 years, the firm of Binder & Binder has helped thousands obtain Social Security disability benefits. Call now for a free consultation and find out how their experience can help you.
They knew the laws, really knew them. They helped me fight for my benefits and win.
Binder & Binder, call now for a free consultation and find out how their experience can help you.
While the Democrats are happy in Nassau County, the scene for Democrats in Suffolk County is far different.
Patrick Halpin has lost to Republican Assemblyman Robert Gaffney, and the GOP continues to hold on to the county legislature. We begin our Suffolk coverage with News 12's Doug Geed, who is at Democratic headquarters in Islandia. Doug?
Okay, thank you, Melvin Bill. I think it was Pat Halpin himself who summed it up best when he gave his concession speech. The first thing he said is, well, we walked into office at a very bad time, and I think that more than anything captures perhaps the main reason for his demise. Republicans smelled blood very early on in this campaign. In fact, even a couple of years ago, the recession hit. It hit Long Island very, very hard, and I think the Republican ads were very effective in tying the bad economic times in Suffolk County directly to Pat Halpin. Right after his concession speech, I spoke with Halpin more on the economy. This is what he had to say.
These haven't been good times for all of Long Island, but that comes with the territory, and we did the very best we could every day. Most of the times, I think I made the right choices, but every day I went in and gave it my best.
And two other things I think to keep in mind, Bill and Melba. First of all, Suffolk is a very Republican county, and I think this puts into focus, or in perspective rather, Halpin's 1987 victory. It certainly was not a fluke by any means, but it certainly was something very extraordinary. Also, someone made the point that Halpin lost on September 12th. That was the night of the Republican and Conservative Party primaries. Pat Vecchio, the Smithtown supervisor, lost in both the Republican and Conservative primaries. Pat Vecchio won on the Conservative line. He's a very a proven vote getter. And the theory was that he would have drawn a lot of votes away from Gaffney, and perhaps Halpin would have won under that scenario. Of course, that didn't happen, and Pat Halpin, after serving 4 years, is now out. Back to you in the studio, Bill and Melba.
All right, thank you, Doug.
Good points. Thank you, Doug. Well, Robert Gaffney followed the same road to Hop Hog as the man he defeated, a stop in Albany, followed by an upset victory over an incumbent. News 12's Colleen McVeigh has more now on the new Suffolk County executive.
Well, Bill and Melba, the celebrations go on here. No one really wants to leave the Smithtown Sheridan. They're just cherishing this moment. They have reclaimed the top spot in Suffolk County, as you have said. 1 hour and 40 minutes after the polls closed, Bob Gaffney walked in here to declare victory. The theme of that victory speech was to put the campaign behind him.
The one, the only, with 27,008.
There's a saying that we've used throughout the course of this campaign. I think it was coined by Howard D. Martini. He said, it is, whenever things were going bad or we didn't know exactly what we wanted to do, his expression was, Bob, it is what it is. Well, it was what it was. The campaign is behind us. That's history now. We don't look back, we look forward. We look for the future. Suffolk County's future is a bright one, but it's not without problems. I think everybody in this room understands that.
744, Patrizio, 18.
And after that, he quoted Charles Dickens saying, these are the best of times and the worst of times. It will be the best of times if everybody works together to resolve those problems. The worst of times if everybody does not work together. Gaffney's still here celebrating, and they're saying the celebrating is just beginning. It will go well into the morning hours. They're saying the victory is well beyond their dreams. And Gaffney said tomorrow he will be still working. He'll take Thursday off and relax. That's it from the Smithtown Sheridan. Back to the studio.
Okay, thank you, Colleen, and rest that voice, he says. And when Robert Gaffney goes to work on January 1st, he will have a majority of his fellow Republicans on the county legislature. The makeup of the legislature will be virtually the same as it was before the election. So let's take a look now at the 18 legislative races. And we start with the 1st district, where Caracciolo, 58% of the vote. The 2nd district, the incumbent, Davis. 3rd district, incumbent Foley. 4th, Caracappa, 59% of the vote. In the 5th, Englebright, 56%. Donald Blydenberg, 56%, another incumbent. The 7th, DeAndre, who has not always had such a wide margin of victory, but he coasts in this time. The 8th district, Steve Levy, really bowling over his opponent. 9th, Rizzo, 72%. 10th, Fendley.
And the incumbents continue. In the 11th, Lazio kept his seat. In the 12th, Sandra Backety pulled out a close one. In the 13th, Schaffer beat Burke, maintained his incumbency. In the 14th, Maxine Postal, the incumbent. In the 15th, Binder, the incumbent. In the 16th, where there was no incumbent, Jones, the Republican, a very close race there, is the probable winner. Gorin, the incumbent, in the 17th. And in the 18th, O'Donohoe, the incumbent. It'll either be 11-7 Republican and Conservatives over Democrats, or 12-6. While voters in the town of Huntington voted on 2 issues that involve Cablevision, residents were asked 2 questions. 1, to allow competing cable companies into the town, and 2, to renew Cablevision's franchise agreement with the town. Voters said yes to allowing cable competition and no to renewing Cablevision's franchise, but this was a non-binding referendum.
Okay. So lots more interesting races to report to you when we continue with our live coverage of Election 91 right after this.
Ethan Allen introduces the American Impressions Collection. Just because you don't have a lot of money to throw around doesn't mean you have to live with disposable furniture. Right now, there's a sale at your Ethan Allen Gallery.
Dear Mr. Conte, I have never had such a pleasurable car purchasing experience. Your people were terrific.
Dear Mr. Conte, everyone in your service organization pitched in to help us. Our vacation was coming up, and
everyone whom I had the pleasure to speak with was helpful, patient, cheerful, and respectful.
Dear Paul, well, you've done it again. For 4 years now, your dealership is #1 on Long Island, and we at Cadillac are especially proud of your success.
Isn't it nice to know there are some things you can still count on? Paul Conte Cadillac, Sunrise Highway, Freeport.
At Cookies, $9.95 gets you our shrimp soup and salad bar, a delicious steak, and ice cream and dessert bar.
If you love steak,
you love Cookies.
Even the hottest fighter pilot can't face this enemy alone. Become an Air Force physician. Aim high. Air Force.
Binder and Binder helped me get the disability benefits I was due.
Right during the free consultation, they told me they could help, and they did.
For over 10 years, the firm of Binder and Binder has helped thousands obtain Social Security disability benefits. Call now for a free consultation and find out how their experience can help you.
They knew the laws, really knew them. They helped me fight for my benefits and win.
Binder and Binder, call now for a free consultation and find out how their experience can help you.
We have plenty more news for you. I'm Roma Torrey. Long Islanders and Americans across the country came out to cast their votes on this off-year election day. Limited terms for elected officials, doctor-aided suicide, and a neck-and-neck Senate race are some of the highlights on this election day. That tight race, this year's only U.S. Senate race, is in Pennsylvania. It has been won by Democrat Harris Wofford. Wofford won by a strong margin of at least 60% in his race against former U.S. Attorney General Dick Thornburgh. Wofford is said to have done surprisingly well in some traditionally Republican strongholds in the state. Political analysts say Wofford's campaign could determine the strategy Democrats use against George Bush next year. In Kentucky, a race for the governor's seat is decided. Wealthy horse breeder and Lieutenant Governor Brereton Jones has beaten Republican Congressman Larry Hopkins. Jones had led in the polls. In Mississippi, Republican challenger Kirk Fordice is ahead by a slim 51 to 48% margin against Democratic incumbent Ray Mabus, that is. That's with 88% of the votes counted. If Fordice wins, he'll be the first Republican to win Mississippi's governor's seat in more than a century. And voters in the state of Washington are answering several controversial ballot questions, including whether doctors should have the right to help terminally ill patients kill themselves. Also on the ballot in that state is a proposal to limit the term of elected officials to 12 years. Ironically, if the proposal is approved nationwide, House Speaker Thomas Foley of Washington State and more than 100 other legislators would be forced to retire in 1994. Voters headed to the polls in New York City today to fill the new seats in the expanded city council. The count is 35 to 51 seats, and this may give the city's blacks and Hispanics greater representation. As results come in, the council now has its first openly gay member, Tom Duane from Greenwich Village, and in Harlem, Adam Clayton Powell IV has also won a seat on the council. Also in the Big Apple today, Mayor David Dinkins added his voice to those who want Governor Cuomo to run for president. Dinkins says Cuomo would make an excellent candidate, and he says the governor also has a good shot of winning. Cuomo says he will not be stampeded into making a decision on whether he'll throw his hat into the presidential ring. The governor says he wants to weigh all the factors before making a decision. Meanwhile, former U.S. Congresswoman and Vice President Geraldine Ferraro is leaving no doubt about her political intentions. She's getting ready to throw her hat back into the political ring, this time for U.S. Senator. Ferraro was in Oceanside today enlisting the help of the League of Women Voters to put an end to voter apathy Ferraro says an informed and involved electorate will be essential in her campaign next year to unseat Senator Alphonse D'Amato.
We will do voter identification, we will do absentee ballots, we will do get out the vote on Election Day. This is not only my Senate race. This is not going to be my Senate period of time working for the people. It's going to be theirs. It's going to be their Senate office, and they better get out and help me do it.
The goings-on at North Hempstead Town Hall today resembles something out of a mystery novel rather than a government office on this election day. A loaded, sawed-off shotgun was found in the basement of Town Hall, and North Hempstead Supervisor Ben Zwern isn't ruling out the possibility that foul play was afoot. Police say the weapon belongs to Zwern's political rival, Republican Commissioner of Administrative Services Alfred Monica, who has been arrested. Zwern says his political enemies may have hoped his budget-slashing program would spark an upset employee to an act of violence.
You have to ask yourself, what was it doing there? It's not a hunting weapon. We're not shooting cockroaches in Town Hall.
Alfred Monica calls Zwern's allegations totally preposterous and completely unfounded. He says, quote, the only thing Mr. Zwern should be afraid of is the taxpayers of the town of North Hempstead. Monica was released without bail. Violence has struck once again at a Long Island nightclub plagued with problems. The LI Exchange nightclub at the Huntington Hilton Hotel held an affair it called Teen Night. But after a parking lot melee, it might have been called Teen Fight Night. News 12's Patty Ann Brown has a report.
Hundreds of Long Island teenagers were at the Long Island Exchange on Sunday night for a non-alcoholic teen night when a fight broke out that left one girl hospitalized, 5 other teens injured, and thousands of dollars of damage to the club at the Huntington Hilton. 4 people were arrested, including a club security employee and a 14-year-old. Suffolk police in Huntington say as many as 25 youths may have participated in the brawl, while 75 looked on. And they say this type of violence is not at all uncommon at the club.
We've had a number of assaults. We have a lot of criminal mischief at the place. We have numerous cars stolen in the parking lot. And we're there, I would say, on a nightly basis for some type of disturbance.
2 months ago, a 23-year-old man says he suffered brain injuries after a group of bouncers allegedly beat him, claiming he had shot at one of them a week earlier.
This bouncer grabbed Mr. Casillo, dragged him out of the hotel. 6 or 7 additional bouncers came out and they beat Mr. Casillo until one of the bouncers realized they had the wrong person.
In the past year, the police say they've filed 6 complaints about this bar with the state liquor authority, but nothing's been done because of a backlog of cases at the agency. So now the police say they're working with the bar owners to address what they say is one source of the problem, the bouncers.
I think they need to find a way to professionalize the people they utilize as bouncers.
The bar has already agreed to drop its teen night, but police say it now has to shake off its dangerous reputation.
That reputation is that if you want to go to a bar to pick a fight with somebody, the Long Island Exchange is the place to go. And many, many young men go there to engage in fights with the bouncers and with each other.
In Melville, Patty Ann Brown, News 12, Long Island.
Police say the club opened in 1988. And in East Meadow, more violence. A teen there is recovering today from a gunshot wound to his thigh, and the father of one of his classmates is in trouble with the law because of it. 13-year-old Thomas Piorek had apparently brought a .25 caliber handgun to school with him yesterday. Police say the teen was in the schoolyard when the gun went off in his pocket. The gun owner, 45-year-old James Prisco, is the father of one of Piorek's classmates. Prisco faces criminal possession of weapons charges. A second .25 caliber semi-automatic gun was apparently found in Prisco's home. No word yet on how the boy got a hold of the gun that wounded him. 17-year-old Michael Velasquez is still fighting for his life after allegedly being robbed and beaten Sunday. Police say Velasquez was walking home from work a little after midnight Sunday on Rhode Island Avenue in Bayshore when he was approached by a car. The group inside allegedly demanded his denim jacket, which he handed over. Police say that's when he was hit over the head with a baseball bat. He's on life support at Southside Hospital in Bayshore. The Bayshore Waldbaums, where Velasquez works, is offering a $1,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of his assailants. Stay tuned. There is much more news ahead, and we'll have the latest election results when we come back. Stay with us.
Sometimes you just have to take charge and take off. Because there's nothing that says you can't be a good mother and a good friend at the same time. And you're likely to find that some things have changed for the better, while some things haven't changed at all.
Come share in the winning by joining the New York State Lottery program. Only $7.75 per week gets you 3 games of bowling and a chance at hitting it big in Lotto. Join the fun at your local Suffolk County bowling center.
Lilco claims you'll save money by switching to gas heat. Truth is, for the last 5 years in New York State, gas heat hasn't been any cheaper than oil. So where's the big savings? And while they're trying to sell you on gas, Lilco's looking to raise their rates again by $35 million. You could spend thousands switching and save nothing. So don't fall for Lilco's latest line, unless you've got money to burn.
Oil Heat. It's Long Island's first choice for comfort, safety, and service.
I called and saved at U.S. Capitol.
I called and saved too.
We called.
And now we're off to Florida. Yay!
Thousands of Long Islanders have called U.S. Capitol and saved on their car insurance. If you're a good driver with a clean driving record, U.S. Capitol can reward you with car insurance rates that are substantially lower than what you're paying now. Give us a call and get a quote right over the phone. Our insurance representatives can get you a money-saving policy within 24 hours. So call U.S. Capitol now and save.
Hi, I'm Gary Arcieri, president of Elegant Entries, New York's oldest and largest insulated steel door manufacturer, with another helpful home improvement tip. When you shop for a steel insulated door, make sure the door has a full steel edge and a steel frame. A wood edge door or wood frame is an invitation to an easy break-in and will cause moisture and expansion problems as the seasons change. Elegant Entries knows how to do the job right, first time, every time. And don't forget to check this Thursday's Newsday for spectacular savings.
Melba Tolliver with Bill Zimmerman as we continue to bring you the results of voting here on Long Island. 2 upsets in the 8 Suffolk supervisors races in Southampton. We'll take a look at that race first. Republican incumbent George Stavropoulos has been ousted by Suffolk legislator Fred Thiel. Thiel was running an independent campaign on an independent line there, a new party, the Southampton Party. And with just about all of the votes counted, Thiel had 1,200 votes more than Stavropoulos. The new supervisor in Shelter Island as well, incumbent Republican Jeffrey Symes, has lost to the Democrat Hussein Hoot Sherman. And Sherman won by a 2-to-1 margin.
Also on the East End, the Riverhead Town Supervisor's race, Joseph Janoski has claimed victory. His opponent, Louis Bichetti, has conceded defeat. Janoski enthusiastic about another term as supervisor.
Well, I want to complete those things that we started. We got to provide that solution to the garbage dilemma. That's underway. We're going to do it and continue expanding the public water, keep spending under control, and maybe get that economy working again.
And winding up the Eastern Long Island Supervisors races, in East Hampton, the incumbent Democrat Tony Bullock defeated Leonard Bernard. And in Southold, the incumbent Republican Scott Harris turned back the challenge of the Democrat Frank Kajowski.
And in the town of Brookhaven, they have a new supervisor. They knew they'd have somebody new there because Henrietta Acampora was not going to be around. Republican Councilman John Lamura beat Democrat Richard Blakesley. And Frank Jones remains a supervisor in the town of Islip.
I know Bob did, and I know I did. Went through the most vicious campaigns that we have ever experienced, and I've been around this business for 20 years. And it is indeed gratifying to know that the people saw through that. They looked to the person, they looked to the accomplishments, they looked to the vision that the people had who were running, and that's the way they presented their votes tonight. And I am very, very grateful for it, and couldn't be happier to have the County of Suffolk back in the good, stable hands of the Republican Party under the leadership of Bob Gaffney.
And Jones is probably even happier because his was such a stunning victory. He really ran away from the competition there. His challengers were the Democrat Michael Wilson and the conservative, running as a conservative, a Republican Thomas Barriga, who had battled Jones for the Republican nomination but lost. And finally, Arthur Pitts has won again in the town of Babylon. He beat out Republican Louis Patrizio. And for Arthur Pitts, this is quite a victory, too. It marks his second re-election and the third time that he's been elected to that post. Be Pitts's Babylon supervisor. Okay.
It's been a long and interesting election night. We'll be back with more results and some analysis after this. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Gary Arcieri, president of Elegant Entries, New York's oldest and largest insulated steel door manufacturer, with another helpful home improvement tip. When selecting a home improvement company, always ask, who is doing the installation? Are they insured? Do they carry workman's comp? Are they factory trained and factory dispatched? If the answer to any of these questions is no, maybe you should review your options. Elegant Entries knows how to do the job right, first time, every time. And don't forget to check this Thursday's Newsday for spectacular savings.
Get to know Meat Farms. You'll like what you see. We're Long Island's smart choice for custom-cut meats. Our fruits and vegetables are the cream of the crop from the farms of Long Island. And our genuine Italian deli, Delicioso. Friendly and courteous in every way. Terrific savings every day.
This week, our extra lean center-cut pork chops, $1.89 a pound. And Pepsi-Cola Diet Pepsi Schweppes mug, 2-liter bottle, 99 cents.
Meat Farms, the total supermarket with the hometown touch.
Long Island has discovered America's chicken.
It's delicious. It's great. Low in fat and healthy.
They take the skin off.
And they cook it without any cholesterol.
And I feel comfortable giving it to my kids.
America's chicken. Great tasting food freshly prepared with your health in mind. Like our sensational Santa Fe chicken. Skinless, marinated, and grilled over an open flame. Incredibly delicious.
It's delicious. It's better than I can make at home.
Don't worry, be healthy. Discover America's chicken today.
The big winter wear and ski gear warehouse event is on. Ski Stop's 30,000 square foot warehouse takes on the season with our biggest sale ever. Up to 80% off list. The guaranteed lowest prices plus extra technicians and Ski Stop staff. One big warehouse. The world's most wanted brands.
Nobody beats Ski Stop's price. Nobody beats Ski Stop.
Billionaire British newspaper mogul Robert Maxwell is being remembered tonight as a man who made his own empire. Maxwell's body was found in the Atlantic Ocean today, several hours after he was reported lost at sea. The 68-year-old publisher was cruising on his luxury yacht around the Canary Islands when he disappeared from the ship. Maxwell's body was nude when it was found, and there were no signs of violence, but authorities are not ruling out a suspicious death. The man who epitomized the life of a wise, pipe-smoking single parent of 3 sons has died in California. Actor Fred McMurray, best known as the father on My 3 Sons, died today of pneumonia at a Santa Monica hospital. He was 83 years old. McMurray's career spanned more than 50 years, from big-screen dramas like Double Indemnity to the comedy The Shaggy Dog. McMurray had not acted in several years, but My 3 Sons is still a favorite among TV viewers who are able to see it in reruns. On Capitol Hill today, a Senate committee has started what could be a long fight over secret government documents concerning missing American servicemen. The committee says it wants to account for the more than 2,000 Americans listed as missing in action from the Vietnam War. Secretary of Defense Dick Cheney testified, saying he'll not rest until all MIAs are accounted for. There have been recent claims that several MIAs are alive and the government is not helping them. Many of those claims have turned out to be hoaxes. Also in the nation's capital today, Robert Gates has been confirmed as the new head of the Central Intelligence Agency. Gates is a 25-year veteran of the CIA. He was confirmed with a 64-31 vote. Gates' only opposition came from the Democrats. During confirmation hearings, Gates was challenged about his knowledge of the Iran-Contra affair and his anti-Soviet stance. The fourth day of jury selection in the William Kennedy Smith rape trial finds Smith lawyers releasing documents in which he admits to having sex with the alleged victim. Smith told police that he and the victim had consensual sex at the Kennedy estate, and then he says the two argued. The victim charges that Smith tackled her and raped her. So far, 30 potential jurors have been questioned. 10 have been dismissed for personal or business reasons. Opening arguments in the Smith rape trial are set for December 2nd. A couple from a small Texas town has been arrested and charged with child abuse for chaining and starving their 13-year-old son. Police say Linda and Jay Hill kept the boy chained for about 6 months and never fed him. During that time, the child's weight dropped to 55 pounds. The couple lived in a trailer park, and neighbors say the boy and his brother were never allowed outside for more than a few minutes at a time. The 13-year-old is hospitalized in critical condition. His brother is in protective custody. Old Man Winter has come in with a bang in the midsection of the country. Up to 2 feet of snow was dumped on Minnesota, Illinois, and Nebraska, causing headaches for motorists and overall confusion. Freezing temperatures accompanied the snow, and 23 deaths are being blamed on the weather. Forecasters are predicting some warming for the region later on in the week. And an area of the country that is usually warm is also being socked with chilly temperatures, prompting residents to pull out their coats. Florida is experiencing a cold snap. In some places, temperatures have fallen into the 40s, but the sun is still shining. The calendar says fall, but the forecast definitely says winter. And it looks like winter has definitely won this year's campaign.
How do you like those? How do you like the pictures of that snow, huh?
Snow.
I'm not
it looks like tomorrow we're going to have it. It's so cold, Roberto.
So crazy. Actually, the feeling is here that the next couple of days is going to feel like mid-December weather.
Yeah.
Oh.
Winter's definitely went out.
But I like it, though. You know, sort of, I think your IQ goes up a little bit when it gets a little dry like that, a little cool.
Well, it gets your attention anyway.
Precisely. Ladies and gentlemen, the fact is that the last couple of weeks we've had what they call a ridge situation of our region. And that ridge situation, of course, gives us nice weather. Temperatures should be in the low 20s in the center of the island in the early morning hours. Very, very cold indeed. What we've had, we take a look at the national map, is the fact that we have troughiness now in the area. The troughiness, of course, was out there in the northern plains. That's what created all those wild snows in Minneapolis and in Wisconsin, and all those frigid temperatures that descended all the way down as far as Texas. What's happened now is that the jet stream has made a decided move to the south, and that's why all the chilly temperatures that we're experiencing down in central Florida. It's going to occur now. We're going to have one good day over the island with nice temperatures at about 51 degrees, 52 degrees in the afternoon hours. It's going to be quite a pleasant day. And then we have some clouds coming up, a funnel system moving its way over the region for Thursday into Friday that may stall just to the east of us. And if in fact that occurs, we'll probably wind up with clouds, perhaps some rain for Thursday and Friday. And then guess what happens for the weekend? Another shot of frigid cold air will hit the island Saturday and Sunday. So all in all, what we have here is a moment of transition, which we're going to experience very cool temperatures in the early morning hours, and then, of course, some nice temperatures, milder temperatures in the afternoon, a nice day. And then, of course, the clouds come in for Thursday and Friday, and perhaps a little bit of shower. There's a chance, in fact, just the showers may change to a little light snow just before it ends on Friday afternoon.
I was going to ask if you wanted to go out on a limb and predict the first snow this year. It could be this week?
It could happen Thursday night, Friday.
Oh, lucky us. Well, get out the skis.
Yeah, it's a little ski, not a big ski.
All right. Well, Roberto, listen up. You might like this next story. Donald Trump is not going to let a good deed go unrecognized. The man who helped catch the teen who allegedly mugged Trump's mother last week will have dinner with Trump at the Plaza. Trump has reportedly been debating about giving the Good Samaritan a more substantial reward, but lawyers have advised him to wait until after the teen's trial because they say a reward could jeopardize a conviction. No date has been set yet for the dinner. Well, still ahead, we will have some more Election 91 results and plenty more news, so stay with us.
Every day is Christmas to me. I spend 365 days a year on Christmas only. So I take special pains with everything I look at, everything I buy, everything I do for the stores. It's a fun job. If I were to drive up to a store on a busy day and see the customers coming out with their packages and their children and with smiles on their face, I know they're happy. They've found what they wanted at Harrow's, and that makes me happy.
In 1987, 88, 89, and 90, Paul Conte was Long Island's #1 Cadillac dealer. During the same 4 years, there were 4 different #1 U.S. Open tennis players, 3 different #1 NFL teams, and 2 different #1 Masters golf champions. I mention this to illustrate just how unique a 4-year #1 standing is for any professional endeavor. We're proud to provide the low prices and quality service that have given us our 4-year run, because when you win, we win too. Paul Conte, Cadillac, Freeport.
I think the customers definitely sense the difference, not only in the company, but in us.
There is a definite pride in what we do and how we do it.
I mean, the employees own the company. You are Avis. I'm Avis.
If you've seen our roving rapid return now, you'll see that you don't even have to step out of the car before you're already checked in.
If you don't like the color of the car, if I have a different color car, I'll fix it.
We call over 1,500 customers a month just to see if they're satisfied.
There's a big sense of pride in owning a company.
So why rent from anyone but an owner?
Knowledge, experience, excellence. 3 attributes your attorney should have. For over 10 years, the firm of Binder & Binder has helped thousands fight for and win Social Security disability benefits. If you're having difficulty obtaining disability benefits, call Binder & Binder today.
I'm Charles Binder. Find out how our experience can help you. Call now for a free consultation.
Binder & Binder, call now for a free consultation and find out how their experience can help you.
In business news, the price of a postage stamp will remain at 29 cents. The Postal Service's Board of Governors couldn't get enough votes for a penny increase. The Federal Reserve isn't saying anything, but analysts are guessing the Fed is about to make loans easier to get. A former Fed board member says the economy will stall out without some help. And on Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 14.5 points. Volume was moderate at 172 million shares. Declines led advances 851 to 741. On the commodities exchange, gold lost $2.70 an ounce. Silver closed down 2 cents an ounce. And now it's time for sports, and we've been joined by Bob Wolf. Forgot your name for a second, Bob.
Well, at this hour, that's very possible.
Yeah, it's awfully late, and he's got some better numbers for the Knicks as they win their first game of the year.
Well, all the returns are in from Madison Square Garden, a landslide. And the Knicks opener at home was a great success. They led 42-41 at halftime, and then they exploded in the second half, and there's annihilated the Bucks going away 113-85. In the highlights of that game, it was showtime for Pat Riley's Knicks, but only Xavier McDaniel took center stage early on. He scored 16 points and gave the Knicks a 1-point halftime lead. Now, the second half was a different story as Gerald Wilkins steals. He goes in for the jam all alone as the Knicks outscore the Bucks 40-13 in the third quarter. Knicks led 82-54 after 3, and when they hit the 100 mark, they led by 32 points. Final was Knicks 113, the Bucks 85. The X-Man, he came through with 28 points. He also pulled down 13 rebounds. And while the big win in the home opener is a big step in the right direction for the Knicks, no question about that, the Knicks did work hard to prepare for this game against the Bucks, and Mike Zimmett has a look at how the Knicks worked to get ready after they had first gone 0-2.
This is an example of how the Knicks looked on offense against Miami. They stood around and were forced into bad shots like this one while the Heat cleared the easy rebound. One night earlier in Orlando, the defense allowed Scott Skiles to penetrate, which led to an easy basket. No wonder Pat Riley is far from happy after his Knicks are 0-2.
I think the result showed in a lot of different areas breakdowns that came in the form of slippage and rebounding and blocking out turnovers at inappropriate times.
One thing the Knicks have to be concerned about in their first 2 losses down in Florida is their rebounding or a lack of it. In the 2 losses to Orlando and Miami, the Knicks have been out-rebounded by an average of 10 boards a game. Orlando out-rebounded New York 44-37. Miami did the same by a 44-31 margin. Now, Knicks assistant coach Paul Silas is in charge of the big men who were supposed to dominate the boards.
We just have to get back to going after every ball that goes up on the boards, and it's nothing magical or secretive about it. It's just giving the effort, and that's basically what we're looking for.
Offensively, the Knicks shot a combined 46% the first 2 games, a decent number. Things don't get any easier for the home opener. The Milwaukee Bucks are in town. They've already beaten Detroit and Chicago, 2 power teams.
Right now, every game's a big game. We got to come out and win.
During the last couple of days, much of the talk around the schoolyard has been, it's the same old Knicks, a response from the new coach.
They're working as hard as they've ever worked. They didn't show anything from the result of that work down in Miami or in Orlando, but they will. And, you know, we're going to have to prove it to them, but I'm not concerned about that.
How New York performs in the Garden opener will tell a lot about this team's character. In Purchase, Mike Zimmett, News 12, Long Island.
Now, we've seen in sports recently how a team can go from the bottom up to the top, like the Twins and the Braves did, or from the top to the bottom in a hurry, like the Giants have done. Super Bowl champions last January, they have self-destructed with the biggest bomb last night, the other night, that's 2 nights ago now, in Philadelphia, a 37 explosion by the Eagles. Now, where's the D? Take a look at this. A hobbling Jim McMahon expressed the biggest hole in the Giants' defense on this 73-yard touchdown pass to Keith Jackson. That made it 10-0. The big hole was exposed there. You could turn it off right there, and you should have. It was ugly. Jeff Hostetler sacked 4 times, including a sacked fumble that led to a field goal. Phil Simms replaced Toss late in the game in a mop-up role, and the game was already way out of hand. And Giants coach Ray Handley said today he will not replace Hostetler for Simms next week. Lawrence Taylor thinks the team just simply gave up.
Right now, morale and, you know, attitudes and feelings and everything are at all-time low right now. One of them defenses that happens. You know, you think you're playing it right and find out you're not playing it completely as designed.
Where's this team going?
I don't know. I don't.
It's totally uncharacteristic of the New York Giants. Totally uncharacteristic of this defense.
Now the Giants travel to Phoenix for Sunday's game. Maybe the lowly Cards will help them regain some of their confidence. In other sports news, the Yankees and relief pitcher Steve Howe have agreed to a 1-year contract. Did a fine job in relief last year, as you know. Financial terms not disclosed there. The American League Rookie of the Year, Chuck Knobloch of the Minnesota Twins, their second baseman. It's for the second straight day that a Twin has filed for free agency. Brian Harper went yesterday, and today it was Dan Gladden. That's the sports news. Here's Roma.
All right, thanks, Bob. And finally, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That's the old adage. Well, some photographers took that saying to heart. They decided to pay tribute to Montauk Highway through pictures. The cameramen literally walked and photographed the same path George Washington walked in 1792 when he walked along Montauk Highway. It was Washington who approved the building of the lighthouse at Montauk Point. The art exhibit will be on display from now until November 28th at New York Institute of Technology campus on Northern Boulevard in Old Brookville. The display is at the Fine Arts Center. And Suffolk police have arrested 4 teens for the Sunday beating and robbery of a 17-year-old Bayshore teen. 17-year-old Michael Velasquez was robbed of his denim jacket and hit over the head with a baseball bat as he was walking home from work. Velasquez is in critical condition at Southside Hospital in Bayshore. Police say the 4 suspects held a rifle on Velasquez when they demanded his jacket. We will be right back with more news for you as well as results on this Election Day 91. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The big winter wear and ski gear warehouse event is on. Ski Stop's 30,000 square foot warehouse takes on the season with our biggest sale ever. Up to 80% off list. The guaranteed lowest prices plus extra technicians and Ski Stop staff. One big warehouse. The world's most wanted brands.
Nobody beats Ski Stop's price. Nobody beats Ski Stop's service. Nobody beats Ski Stop's quality.
It's happening now. Guaranteed.
PTK Oriental Rug Center is closing their Huntington, Long Island store. Now you can get 55 to 75% off every rug in their huge Huntington inventory.
I found just the style and size that I wanted. And what a value! I bought this beautiful rug for 75% off.
That's right, beautiful styles, sizes, and colors for every taste, and PTK of Huntington must sell every rug. So hurry, this store will be closed soon. That's only at PTK Oriental Rug Center, Route 110 in Jericho Turnpike, Huntington, Long Island.
If you want to save money every week, is there a better place to shop? Yes, Waldbaum's. Save on boneless chicken cutlets $1.99 a pound. Buy 1 pack of assorted Nabisco premium crackers at $1.89, get 1 free. Assorted red pack tomatoes, now 59 cents a can. Plus a 3-pack of refreshing Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink, only 89 cents. That's why we say one supermarket is better than the rest. Waldbaum's. Come share our values.
You sound terrible.
About time you noticed. I feel sluggish. My injectors, they're all clogged.
I give you a detergent gas.
Just give me the good stuff.
Listen to your engine. Amoco gasoline's clean clogged fuel injectors in one tank full.
You give me quality, I give you performance.
Amoco, your car knows.
Oh, by the way, I know. Take one tank full and call me in the morning.
We continue our election coverage. Long Islanders have voted, they have spoken, and they've surprised a few people.
Made a lot of noise in Nassau County, where they put Yavoli in, where they re-elected Ben Zwirn, where the Democrats got the entire town council, or the 3 seats that were up in North Hempstead, and where now the Republicans need a Democrat to get anything passed by the Nassau County Board of Supervisors. It was even they even scared the county assessor, Abe Selden, who's only winning at this point by about 8,000 votes. It appears he will retain the county assessor's job, but the Democrat, Wiesenberg, came reasonably close to putting Mr. Selden out of work as well.
And it actually will have the party leaders in Nassau County, both Democrats and Republicans, thinking about what's happening to their party. You had this split going into the election among the Democrats, John Matthews. Now he's got his 2 adversaries in positions of power. And as Jerry Kramer pointed out earlier, it's not really the Democratic Party victory as much it is the victory of these 2 Democrats, Zwirn and Yavoli. On the Republican side, then you've got Mondello out there, having lost a very important
Control of the Board of Supervisors, and as Fran Marcel said, trying to wear 2 hats sometimes doesn't pay off. We have Scott Feldman and Greg Sergel standing by now at Nassau County Republican headquarters. Scott?
All right, good evening, Bill and Melb. Everybody is just about cleared out of here, and it has been a disappointing night. The Nassau Republican machine, the most powerful local political organization in the country, that machine is not dead tonight, but it has certainly stalled. A stunning defeat for the Republicans here tonight. Everybody gathered some time ago to look at the tote board, and the numbers went up in races where they knew they were going to win in Hempstead and Hempstead presiding supervisor. But they never put up the numbers, and the numbers aren't up there right now, even as I speak, for Oyster Bay, between Yavoli and Delegati. The stunning defeat tonight, right off the bat, that we knew about first off, was in North Hempstead. Not only does Ben Zwirn win re-election, but he takes the Democrats with him, and he also takes with him the receiver of taxes and the town clerk. And our Greg Sergel was covering the North Hempstead race for us tonight. Unbelievable.
Scott, as much disappointment as there may have been here at Republican headquarters, it was exactly the opposite at Ben Zwirn's headquarters in Port Washington. There was jubilation, absolute disbelief there. I think the candidate himself waited an extra half an hour or an hour to declare victory because he himself wanted to be sure. I don't think even he believed the magnitude of the victory. Let's take a look now at Ben Zwirn's victory speech. Well, apparently having some problems with that victory speech by Ben Zwirn. Zwirn said he was proud of the people of North Hempstead. He said that the people of North Hempstead had seen through the negative campaigning of the Republicans and had said enough was enough and put in Zwirn again for another 2-year term. And as Scott mentioned earlier, they also elected 3 Democrats to the town board, which means for the first time in this century, Democrats will control the town of North Hempstead. They have 3 Democrats on the town board, plus Ben Zwirn, gives them the majority they need to pass legislation. Just an unprecedented feat there tonight, Scott.
John DeVanzo, 36 years as a town councilman and clerk, voted out of office tonight. It is almost as if the voters walked into the booth and saw the incumbents and said, no, no, no. As Joe Mondello was telling us here earlier tonight, it looked as if the voters voted their pocketbooks, and the best that Joe Mondello could say was, some things are beyond our control, though he said it's still a great night to be a Republican, trying to keep a chin up and a smile on his face, but a lot of hugs and tears here tonight and stunned disbelief as the Republicans truly took it on the chin in Nassau County, and this is indeed national news. The Nassau Republican Party one of the most powerful local organizations, political organizations in the country. And again, they are not dead in the water, but they're certainly stalled. And meetings at the Nassau County Board of Supervisors, well, it's going to take on a whole new meaning. It's a new ball game. The Republicans no longer have a working majority. The name of the game now is compromise. They're going to have to deal with the Democrats. That's it from here. Nassau Republican headquarters. Let's go back to Bill and Melba.
Okay, Scott and Greg, thanks very much. And out in Suffolk County, a black has been elected to the Riverhead Town Board for the first time. News 12's Marilyn Scherer is in Riverhead with attorney and councilwoman-elect Harriet Gilliam.
Well, we'll get to see her in just a moment, Bill. Yes, we've been watching the Riverhead supervisors race. Republican incumbent Joseph Janoski has unofficially been reelected to his 7th term, defeating Democrat Louis Bichetti. Now, while the Democrats lost the supervisors race, there was that one bright spot, and a historic one at that. Residents elected their first black town council member, a Democrat. Her name is Harriet Gilliam, and she's a political newcomer.
And I think the thing that I feel most proud about is the fact that I got a lot of people involved in politics and the political process who had not before felt part of the political process. And I'm very happy with that there was participation from every level in our communities.
What do you hope to do as the lone Democrat on the town board in Riverhead? What do you hope to accomplish? Can you look at that from this perspective right here now and project?
Well, as the lone Democrat and as a labor attorney with a background in negotiations and bringing sides together, I plan to do just that on the town board. I plan to bring reasoning and rationalization to the decisions that we have to make. We have some very challenging times ahead of us for the people of the town, and I will try to work together to build a consensus with the town board so that we can move forward for the betterment of the town and the people.
And that was New Democrat Town Councilwoman Harriet Gilliam, born and raised in Riverhead. She did win in traditionally Republican districts. Harriet Gilliam, New Democratic Town Councilwoman in Riverhead. This is Marilyn Scherer reporting live from Riverhead. Now back to Bill and Melba in the studio.
Okay, Marilyn, thanks. About a third of Riverhead residents are minorities.
And that wraps it up for us. I'm Melba Tolliver.
And I'm Bill Zimmerman. Our thanks to Jerry Kremer and to Fran Purcell and all the rest of the team here. Have a good night.
Okay,
I'll take it.
nice car, pal.
Huh?
We're gonna get off to a great start.
Really?
It's guaranteed. Just give me the good stuff.
Listen to your engine. Use Ultimate regularly in your new car, and Amoco guarantees you won't have a fuel system problem.
Or Amoco pays you for the repair. You give me quality, I give you performance.
Amoco Ultimate, your car knows, now you do too.
Pal, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Hi, I'm Gary Arcieri, president of Elegant Entries, New York's oldest and largest insulated steel door manufacturer, with another helpful home improvement tip. When selecting a home improvement company, always ask, who is doing the installation? Are they insured? Do they carry workman's comp? Are they factory trained and factory dispatched? If the answer to any of these questions is no, maybe you should review your options. Elegant Entries knows how to do the job right, first time, every time. And don't forget to check this Thursday's Newsday for spectacular savings.
Service. Lots of oil companies talk about it. But with Patterson Energy, service means a lot more than just talk. It means experience. Over 100 years of commitment, providing oil heat island-wide at competitive prices. It means capability, a company with enough resources to ensure every customer's peace of mind. It means reliability, fast, dependable service around the clock when you need it. Patterson Energy, the true meaning of service.
Whoa, he looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent groom.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one. What? That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
Ferrara Jewelers for 4 generations with locations on Main Street in Bayshore.
You're watching Long Island's All News Network, News 12 Long Island.
From Montauk in the east to Great Neck in the west, news about Long Island for the people of Long Island. 24 hours every day. This is News 12 Long Island. And now...